Okay, so I hope you're all done, and we're going to move on now. So we're going to see, so I've done this before and I know that the similarity remains above 80%. Now all of the above species are vertebrates, which means they have a backbone. Now one of them, which is this guy here, is very old. Oh, don't mean to scribble all over it. When they're very old. So it belongs to a very old order of fish. Now these are the lobe-finned fish, and all tetrapods, and that includes us, descended from the lobe-finned fish some 395 million years ago. Now this tells us that this protein is old, functional, and likely very vital for survival. So this can help us understand the evolution of this protein. So we now know that this very ancient species has this protein, which means that it was around before the split between lobe-finned fish and tetrapods. So you can see now how this is helping us kind of understand the evolution of the protein itself. Now let's look further back in time. Let's try the eukaryotic fungus. So let's try taxid 5476. So 5476. There it is. And blessed. Okay, so we're going to see, so we've gone beyond vertebrates now and we're just looking at some more eukaryotes. Okay. So that's still quite high. So that's still 66% similarity. Okay, so we can write there 66% and go back to time tree. Candida albicans and human. And that is 1,302.5 million years ago, and yet we've still got a 66% similarity. So 1,302.5 million years ago. So this protein is probably very vital for survival. So the eukaryotic plant Arabidopsis thaliana. So we're going to try a plant now. So let's go back. So edit and resubmit. Arabidopsis thaliana. There it is. And there we go. And then whilst we're waiting for that, Arabidopsis. And that's 1,513.9 million years ago, that divergence. So 1,509. No, sorry, no, 1,513. 13.9. Okay. And has it come back with a similarity? And it has. So you've got cytochrome C1 and 2, full cytochrome. So we've still got a 66% identity here, although it is slightly complex, C1 and 2. But it's still present and it's still got 66% identity. Okay, now let's try even further back in time. So we can still see that it's present in the eukaryotes we search for, although we certainly haven't sampled them all, that's important. So let's try even further back in time. There are only 3 domains in life, so you've got your bacteria, archaea, and eukaryotes. Now we've already done the eukaryotes, so let's try a general search and try the other 2 domains. Let's try bacteria. So what we're going to do is a general search. So back to edit and submit. And we're just going to type in bacteria. And then we're going to go to the time scale of life. I'm going to type in human and bacteria. And that's fine. And that was 4,290 million years ago. So we write that down, 4,290 million years ago. And let's see if it's come up with anything. Still searching. Okay, so that one took a little bit of time, but it's back. Okay, so it's saying that yes, it does exist. Now, at varying levels and at various identities, but we can say that yes, it does exist in some bacterial species. So you can go all the way down, and we've got a whole wide range there. So we can put a nice green tick, it still exists. Okay. Now the next one we're going to look at is archaea. So we're going to do exactly the same thing. Archaea. And we're going to have a go there. And this is probably going to take just as long. And that didn't actually take too long. Now it's only come up with 2. Now it is present. This one is saying cytochrome C6. But I'm not entirely convinced. Now I've done some reading around this and it looks like that archaea, some of them have it and some of them don't. And the reason that it might not be showing up is because not all of them have been sequenced, and if they've not been sequenced and their DNA and their genetics haven't been deposited in the data banks, then there is nothing for us to compare it against. So this result here could mean one of 2 things. So archaea, not really. So it could be not really, because no data, or they don't have one. They don't really have one. Really have this protein. So we won't be able to tell without doing any more kind of in-depth studies. So we don't need to worry about that, but we know that it's in bacteria and eukaryote. So we would have to do more searches, but I think this protein has been around a very long time. So we can see its similarity decreases as we work our way down the tree of life, but with there being very little similarity between our human cytochrome C and like archaea cytochrome C, we need to remember that there are only 2 archaea in the database. If we had more to compare it to, maybe we'll see more similarity, but either way, the fact that this can still be found in archaea and bacteria means that this protein has likely been around since the last common ancestor of life. So we're going to move on to practical 2 now, but I'm going to stop the video there and we're going to make a new one.